Hey, welcome back to another episode of Music and Madness with Tom and John here from the Villages. As if you've been following us, you will see, and you're going to see every episode, all of the musical talent that's here in the Villages. Today, John, would you agree, is absolutely no different?
Awesome. Yep. Great band.
These are the Beatlemaniacs, and they are from the Villages. Everybody in here is a Village resident.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Sure is.
Phenomenal. So, without we're going to let you tell a little bit about that, but first of all, you are the leader. Just tell us a little bit about what your role is here in the Beatlemania group.
Well, I think I was the one that was still standing when all these other guys took a step back a year ago. The Beatlemaniacs have been in the Villages for about over 12 years. And it's a lifestyle club, one of the lifestyle clubs of the Villages. That's why we use the village facilities and everything else. And about a year ago, we had kind of a changeover from the founder left. And we started changing things up and trying to kind of energize the Beatle music here. And, you had said earlier in the podcast about how all these great musicians. Well, you're looking at a bunch of great musicians that play out in bands all throughout the Villages. And then we just get together on Fridays and play. We don't practice as a band. We don't rehearse. I send out a set list at the beginning of the week and say, here's some songs we're going to do. And then you've got these guys that have been playing this stuff since they were, adolescents and just love playing the music. And we have a whole bunch of people that love to listen to it.
Sure.
So every Friday we have a crowd coming in and listening to these guys play music.
And you guys just jam Beatles. Friday night.
All Beatles.
All Beatle music.
Yeah,
All
basically
Beatle
just a
Oh, you do.
Beatle jam session. I wouldn't believe they don't practice. I think
I know.
they're bullshit.
I've heard of it.
No.
No,
What
Wow.
you're hearing is these guys are great musicians, and I mean
phenomenal.
we know the
Pick it up.
music,
Yeah.
and so and we do. Most of these guys, like Gary and some of the other guys that you're here from, have been with the Beatlemaniacs for what, 10 years?
Oh, since the first meeting.
Really?
Almost 12 years. So
Yeah.
they've been playing it, and so when you think about that, that's 500 meetings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where you're playing music from the Beatles, and so it gets to be pretty cool.
So Friday nights, where is that?
It's Friday mornings, 10 a.m. at the Odell Recreation
Oh,
Center.
okay. Morning.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
and then once a quarter we have an evening event.
Really?
Yeah, because we ran out of room.
How long do you guys play when you're at that?
About 2 hours.
Yeah, it starts at 10 o'clock.
We'd be ripped by
12.
noon.
I got to bring my cooler. I'm coming.
You can bring your cooler.
I know.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's no laws.
Yeah, that
love
is.
it.
Yeah.
So back to so you guys have seen them play. We started this podcast with 3 songs that these guys did. We thought they were so great. We had them do 3 more. They've got 7 members of the Beatlemaniacs with us today. We want to talk to everybody. So we're going to turn this into 2 episodes.
Okay,
So right
that's
now
cool.
we're going to talk to you 4, and we're going to have you guys back and talk to the rest of the band and introduce you guys to the world.
So there's one other thing I need to add to this. We are 7 of the Beatlemaniacs. At
Right.
any one of our meetings,
Yeah.
we have 28 musicians.
yeah, which is wow.
So on a regular Friday, could 28 show up?
28.
Yeah.
Oh, on a regular Friday, we always
Really? Yeah.
have
Oh, that's
28
5
musicians.
bass players.
So we've got a whole bass line with Sam over there. We have 4 different bass players. We rotate our drummers in once a week. So Tommy is in this week, and then we've got a whole bunch of really great players.
Oh, don't forget, there's only one Karen, though.
There's only one
is.
Karen.
Before we
Karen.
get too far into this, let's make sure we introduce everybody. Yeah, this is Cody Jester. This is
Lesser.
Lesser. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and he's the one that we've had communication with and reached out, and I knew that he was in charge of the group. I thought it was because of his hair. I mean, he's got
Yeah.
the best hair in the group. But
Second best hair in the Villages, I heard.
that's right. That's it. Yeah.
Almost there, you know.
And go around the room. Tell us who.
So we have Gary Senator next to me,
awesome.
me.
Yep. Karen in the
and
back.
Karen Hurley,
Karen.
and then Jim Lee. Yep.
Jim, fantastic. And then we've got 3 more members that are going to be on
3 more members.
another
Yep.
podcast.
Right.
Phenomenal.
And Karen, are you one of the only woman in the Beatlemaniacs?
No, we have a couple of other percussionists
You do? Okay.
that also play.
Are you called Beatlettes or what? Is there any particular
She's
name
one
for
of the
that?
gang.
As
One of
long
the
as
gang?
you're not Yoko Ono, that's all that matters. Right?
and she's so quiet, but I've got to tell you something. She's probably one of the best, if not the best, keyboardist in the Villages. She can rock it. She looks like she just got out of the school churchyard, but I'm telling you what, you get some music going and she rips.
Rips it. Love it.
Get the elbow action happening.
I
I noticed you gave her plenty of room back there.
Yeah.
That's it. No, phenomenal. All you guys are phenomenal. Absolutely. So when a group that large gets together, do you just let everybody play the instrument that they brought? How do you pick who's playing what part? How do you pick who sings?
Well,
you arm wrestle or
So I send out a set list to the primary players, and we have about 4 or 5 people that typically sing, and I ask them to please put down what they want to sing to. I also have these 2 guys are typically our main lead guitarists, and they usually pick out which songs and what leads they want to do, and then we just go for it. I mean, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a jam. It's supposed to be something. I mean, it's not a job.
Sure.
It's something you like to do.
Obviously, growing up, you were all musicians. Obviously,
I wasn't.
young.
These guys
Really?
were. These guys, these guys are great.
Yep.
I didn't start playing till I came to the Villages 4 years ago.
Really?
So, yeah.
How long you been playing?
I started playing in front of my 5th grade grammar school class, music
kidding.
class.
Yep.
So
now,
that's
Long time.
have you been a professional musician your whole life, or you had a career along with that?
Oh no,
or?
I had definitely a career. You had to pay the bills.
Yeah,
because
because
for sure.
You live here. You couldn't have been a starving musician all that time.
Of course not. Back, I came from Rochester, New York.
Okay, we won't hold that against you.
Please don't. But back then, everybody had bands back then. But back then you played. You're a weekend warrior. You played, maybe Friday, Saturday, and you would play, 4 times a month, 3 times a month. I'm playing more music now than I ever have in my entire life, playing in the Villages.
And having probably way more fun.
Way more fun.
Yeah.
The musicians here in the Villages are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everybody's here for the same reason. The lifestyle, the blue skies and palm trees, and it's phenomenal. It really is. And everybody gets along with each other. Everybody says hi in the morning. How you doing? How you doing? You don't see that back in Rochester.
No,
hell no.
And not everybody's in the big hurry. You're right. These are the I call them the last chapters of our life, and there's no better place that I have found to be than here.
Yeah.
And like I said, the music scene, it's off the charts.
It is.
We think it's phenomenal.
It is.
Now, were you guys musicians? Obviously, I heard you sing.
Yeah, I mean, I found that you start talking to a lot of folks in the Villages. It's the same story. I did start off on clarinet, but at 13 years old, I picked up a guitar, and that seems to be like the magic. Middle school age.
You realized you were not going to get laid playing that clarinet. I knew that was
13 years old. The clarinet just wasn't going to do it.
That's it. Yeah.
I did move to saxophone, but
That's pretty
And you
serious.
sing well.
I sang.
Absolutely.
Sings great.
Yeah, that started. I played it through high school, had a few gigs, but nothing serious, and then I had a career and family. And then about 40 years old, I ended up getting a job at home, so I had more time. And then music was another thing I wanted to get back into, so that's when I pursued it. On every weekend I was out playing.
Yep.
Is anybody in the group here? Did you move here because of the music, or you just found it afterwards?
Just found it here.
No, I did.
You did.
I moved to pickleball.
Yeah, there you go.
and music, because as soon as we got off the trolley, the tour, I said, okay, let's talk to the someone about home here. And after we got done with that, he said, hey, you can go over to the square and check it out. I said, okay. And we walked over, and the first band that walked out, they were belting something by Jefferson Starship. And I said, okay, this is it. That was it. That's all we needed. And 8 months later, we were here.
Yeah, pickleball's almost enough reason to move here. But we're
We
big
play every
pickleball
day.
players.
Yep.
You might have a 29th. I think you might have to join the Beatlemania. He sings.
Yeah.
He sings.
And you got the hair.
I got the hair. I got the hair.
Yeah, best hair here, I hear. I heard that.
Between John and I, for sure.
And Karen has been playing her whole life, I think.
Karen, you can talk.
Come on,
it's
Karen.
all right. Your mic
Let's
is
hear
turned
it.
on.
Okay, well, I'm a retired music teacher.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Awesome.
So I grew up playing keyboards, that kind of thing. I did play flute in the band. So, to start with,
That might get you laid in the band. But
I wasn't going to say it.
Jethro Tull.
we
I
won't
mean,
go there. But I've been a church musician for over 50 years.
I take that statement back.
Yeah.
So,
Oops.
Anyway, it's all right.
Your husband's
But,
here too.
Is it?
Yeah.
But hey, playing in church, that we did a lot of get down. I call it get down gospel. We
Yeah.
did some really,
Church is a phenomenal place to learn music. Just real quickly, I'm like you. I didn't become musically involved a little bit. I played the saxophone in band and stuff like that. But when I got here, I wanted to learn how to sing, and I spent a lot of time trying to do that. But I did it a little bit in church early on, and that was where I kind of got the bug. And it's amazing how many musicians that you hear at the end of the day. Well, where did you start? I started in church. It's a great place.
Yeah.
And phenomenal. What level of music education were you involved in?
Okay, well, I met my husband at Berea College, and that's where I got my first degree. And then I got my master's
Yeesh.
in Kentucky. I taught there for 25 years.
Wow.
And then I had a little cancer thing, and then I got into real estate, and and then I kind of got out of music for a while. But since I've been in the Villages, I've never played so much music. I'm playing almost every day somewhere.
She works. She has more gigs in a week than I think all of us together
No
have.
kidding, huh?
She is playing every night somewhere.
She's got like 6 bands or
Six
something.
bands
stop it.
she's in.
That's
She's
crazy.
in. She's all over the place.
She's
and when you've
awesome.
heard her, you know why everybody wants her.
Sure.
So it's like
That's why she doesn't talk. She's freaking exhausted.
She
Right.
is
Right.
exhausted. Yeah.
just
So
wants
is
to
her
go
husband.
home.
He's
She wants
a
to go home and
roadie.
take
She's
a
got a
nap.
built-in roadie.
That's the
Nothing happens.
roadie.
Nothing happens without this guy over here.
That's pretty much the way it is.
He's a heavy
Yep.
lifter.
Yeah.
I saw him.
It takes two to make it work.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
Where are you from, Karen?
Well, I'm originally from Virginia,
Okay.
but I met my husband at college in Kentucky.
I got you.
Yeah.
Southern girl.
And we've been married. Next year will be 50 years. We'll be
Ooh.
married. How
Phenomenal.
about that?
Absolutely.
Oh.
That's right.
Impressive.
So-
Impressive.
Things you find out here on these podcasts.
That's
right.
it.
I heard that.
That's right.
That's it. So
How many other bands? How many other bands are you guys in? Are you in any other bands?
I'm in 3 or 4.
Really?
Yes.
Karen, obviously you're in 4 or 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and,
6,
and
7.
yesterday I played at 4 services at church. So,
Wow. Oh,
Man.
so you still do? You
so
still
I'm still
involved?
playing. I don't play at church every week, but
Yep.
still
when they
like
when
to
they
do
need
it.
somebody good.
Yeah. No doubt.
So
No doubt.
so back to the like when everybody shows up to play, is there sort of a skill set requirement for? I mean, how do you?
Well, you
Tom's
know,
a little bit.
it's really kind of difficult because you have all these guys who play really well, and then you have
Exactly.
people like myself who had never played,
Yeah.
and they're very welcoming. And I know they kind of squinch every time I start to play a bit. You know, they kind of winch a little bit. But I sat in the second row. Or originally, it was during COVID, and I sat in the audience and just played with. I brought my music stand in the back, just trying to learn the chords. And then
No
I
way.
got into the second row and just, of course, I wasn't mic'd up or anything. Thank goodness. And and then so we have a whole bunch. We have a whole gathering of people. Ideally, we prefer to have people that have a basic knowledge of playing. But again, the idea is we love Beatle music, show up when we're going to play. The biggest problem we have right now is we have just no room. We physically have no more room for band members. And I've got a list of people that would love to come play, and we just don't have the room. We
Have
just don't have room.
you ever all played out together somewhere?
When we have an
Evening
evening event,
gigs, yes.
when I have an evening event, we usually get one of the big theater rooms.
Yeah.
And we had that a couple of weeks ago. And we did all the Beatles #1 songs, and we had like 300 people there. So
Wow.
it was.
Where was that?
It was at Lake Meona Rec Center.
So do you try to do that once a month at the same
Once
place?
a quarter.
Once a quarter. I
the,
gotcha.
the Villages gives us 4. See, we're one of the few clubs that has a weekly meeting still.
Okay.
Most of the clubs in the Villages only get a monthly meeting.
Yep.
But we're old school, so we've got kind of grandfathered in. But we only get 4 changes, so I've got to do like one once a quarter.
I got you.
Yeah.
Now, do you just open the doors for that, or you sell tickets, or what do you do?
For the evening events, we do reserve seats because we just had too many people storm the doors,
We're
you know.
turning away people.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
at our first one, I didn't do that because I screwed up, and we had 250 people that couldn't get in, and they were angry.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so now we do tickets.
Yep.
And
you charge $5.
$5. $5. Just
Can't beat that.
just enough to make sure you show up.
Yeah,
you know?
that's great.
You know, and then we open it up for whatever we have. We have open seating the evening of. If we have extra tickets, you can come by, but usually we don't.
Just a BYOB thing. And
Yeah,
bring
it's
your
all
own-
about bring your own
yeah,
stuff, sit
bring-
down at a big round table, have your friends,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
listen
yeah.
to music, and we have a little dance floor, and usually get people rocking.
Phenomenal. You guys ought to play the square sometime.
You know, we are trying to do that. I
maybe-
have an application in
Really?
with the entertainment department at the Villages right now to do the squares.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of changes, I think, with the entertainment. You know,
Yeah,
more
they'll
about it.
definitely have. There's a lot of changes, and it's. I think it's better, but
They
Yep.
used to have a lot of local clubs play,
Yeah.
and now they're doing nothing but professional guys
Yeah.
play. And if you've ever seen the Village's contract to play, I think Gary Davis went through that. The contract is, I mean, you've got to be significantly serious to jump down because you've got to have bonds and insurance riders and all sorts of stuff. And for most of the clubs that just want to, that have the bands here, the local bands that are
Sure.
playing out, they don't have any application for that. So I made an application. We're going to see if we can go. We're going to try to do it on November 29th. So we'll see what's happening right after Thanksgiving.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, on our website, we want to take and be sure and have all of your information. One of the goals we're not quite there yet, but we should be pretty closely is to have an event calendar for all of our guests.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
So that anybody who comes through here and lets John and I grill them, they get to have their stuff on the calendar, and hopefully that will take and bring more awareness to a lot of stuff. Doesn't sound like you need a lot more awareness, so it sounds like you're fairly full. But
yeah,
it'd be great to see you on the square, and maybe we can help campaign for that.
that'd be very
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, we'll push for that.
Yeah, I got to say one thing. Cody has stepped right up.
He's got the hair. I mean, anybody, yeah.
But he took over the Beatlemaniacs a year ago, and has expanded this club like you wouldn't believe. It's so much better.
Okay, good.
So
Right.
much better.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Well, it's a lot of work,
opportunities to
too.
play, and the more musicians are stepping up and doing more vocal things, and the choices and what he's done is just amazing.
Thank you. It's
That's-
been fun.
that's
Oh, we should mention some of the themes you have
New,
too.
yeah.
that
Yeah,
Cody comes up
so
with.
usually it was just do a Beatle album a
Right.
month,
Yeah.
and then we'd do 3 or 4 songs and open it up. So we've tried to do a lot more this year. We've done unplugged, so you had 28 musicians without a single electric
Oh,
in
that's
there.
cool.
That was
Awesome.
pretty
All
cool.
acoustic
Yeah.
guitars.
We had
Rooftop.
the #1 songs. We did the rooftop concert last week.
Oh, really?
So just their last
How
concert
cool.
on the thing.
Yeah.
The imaginary?
We did, yeah. We did an imaginary concert in 1969. What would they have played? Which was their last big between Abbey Road and that. We've done the medleys. We've had a medley concert, so we did the medleys from Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper's, which are just totally freaking awesome to do.
Yep.
And it's totally fun to do when you've never practiced before. I mean, it was
Sure.
it's pretty much
One
a riot.
take.
And this is all
One
under
take.
your direction. Before
Yeah.
it was just kind of,
Yeah,
that's great.
So we've got
great.
all these really great themes. We're doing a Paul McCartney birthday event next week. Well, we're going to do audience participation. I sent out a whole bunch of little sign-up sheets and asked them for their favorite songs. And we're going to do that this week. And then on 4th of July, we're going to do rock and roll. I've got 25 of the rockinest hits from the Beatles, and we've got a little bit of we're going to do a little bit of patriotic songs in the front, rock and roll, and then we're going to rip through 25 songs and let
Love
her
it.
go.
Love it.
It's too bad the Beatles just didn't give them any material to work with.
Yeah, like 220 songs.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
by the time that's the thing about the Villages. By the time this whole group gets through it all, there'll be a whole nother group behind you, and this thing will keep growing
Hopefully.
and growing. And
Hopefully.
yeah, that's what like I said. Music changes, of course, with generations and whatever. But down here, genre's kind of wide open. There's just a lot of stuff, and like you said earlier, everybody's who's into the music. It's an open thing. People are friendly. They make it easy.
Yeah.
Great place to be. We're just, I don't know, astounded that you guys would come in here to see us.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And we want to take and bring you guys back, do a few more songs. We want to talk to the rest of your members who are
please.
here. And
please.
let's hopefully get them on the square.
Yeah,
All right.
we could
I
do
think that'd
that.
be
See what we can do.
We'll make that
See what
work.
we can do.
We'll
You're good enough to be on the square. Believe
Yeah.
me.
And you know what? It'd just be fun.
oh, for now,
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
just it would just be so much fun.
Absolutely.
I mean, it would just be cool.
You could play Beatles music.
There's an idea.
How about that?
Yeah, all night long and never play the same song twice. That's
Yeah.
what's really cool.
Yeah.
All right,
the
well,
stars.
we appreciate
Thank you.
you
Yeah,
guys
guys.
For inviting
coming,
us out.
and
Great.
Great.
yeah, well, like I said, we'll get you on a calendar, and hopefully we'll see you guys again. Stay in touch. Let us know what's going on. You make any changes and whatever, and
Yeah,
we'll
we'll do it.
keep our audiences
good.
overlapped.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for having
All right,
us.
guys.
Thanks for your time,
Thanks
guys.
for having you.
Thank you.
Love
All right.
having you.
Thank you.